Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome to the Bhakti Shastri class. Today is the last lesson, that is sixth lesson, text number 15 to last 18. So 4 texts will be covered today. Shri Radha Govind ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Lesson number 6, mantra 15 to 18. All of you please take out the book. Hiranmayena patrena satyasyapi hitam mukham tattvam poshanna pavrino satya dharmaya drishtaye. O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. Okay, this is the mantra number 15. Is a continuation from the last class. Mantra 14 says that the Sambhutim cha Vinasham cha. So we have studied about Vidya, Avidya, Sambhuti and Asambhuti. Vidya means the knowledge and Sambhuti means worshipping the Lord. So we are dedicating our intelligence and our heart, the brain and heart, to the Lord. And now we are trying to pray to the Lord. If I have to realize the Lord, if I have to see the Lord, it is not only my effort, it is the Lord's blessings which is needed. It is very much connected to the Damodar Leela that is happening in this Kartik month. When Yashoda Mata wanted to bind Krishna, there were 2 inches, the thread was less. That means that there are 2 things that is needed for the realization of the Supreme. One is our effort, other one is the Lord's blessing. Now, whatever we studied till now, it is the effort from our side. You have to understand the subject matter. You have to study the scriptures, that is Vidya. And you have to study that Vidya which will take you to the Supreme Lord, not the one which will take away from the Lord, the avidya part. And in the final shloka, it is told that Vidya and avidya together it should be taken. That means you should know something about this material world for living, and at the same time you should cultivate the spiritual knowledge also. And also worship of the Lord. Worshipping, that means understanding the glories of the Lord and the different kinds of worship that we perform for the Lord, and also the asambhuti, what we have to give up or what we should not perform. Those things we have understood. Now, having known all these things, next, after performing our effort, that means we do all the activities, all the prescribed duties that the Acharya has told. Now we have to pray to the Lord that please reveal yourself. Whatever I have done, it is within my capacity, whatever possible, I have done it. But now I want your blessing so that I can see your face. Otherwise, it is not possible unless you show yourself. We cannot just say that I have done so much of austerity or so much of worship. I have done chanting for so many years. Now Krishna must come and give his darshan for me. That is not possible. One has to be humble and one has to pray to the Lord. Please remove the dazzling effulgence which is present here in your around your body, that is the spiritual body. In the realization of the Supreme, there are 3 levels. One is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So this is Brahman realization, where the person is capable of seeing the dazzling effulgence around the spiritual body, the divine body of the Lord. And that is not the end, that is just the beginning. If we remove that, then we can see the beautiful form of the Lord which is present. So to see that beautiful form of the Lord, we have to pray to the Lord so that we can see him face to face. The people who get killed by the Lord for their just like the demons, those who do so many problems in the material world, they can go to the Brahma Jyoti, because the Lord wants just to stop their activity. These activities, whatever you are performing, it will bring difficulty for yourself as well as for others also. So because of that, you are putting everyone into trouble. So the Lord stops him by killing and putting him in the Brahma Jyoti. And also those people who worship the Lord as an impersonal Brahman, one who doesn't have the form, one who has no body, thus even the spiritual body, one who is like a Nirakaravadi, they also go to the same place. That is the effulgence of the Lord, the Brahma Jyoti. But Lord says that Brahmano hi pratishtaham. This Brahma Jyoti, what is there, I am the source of that. I am the source of Brahma Jyoti. The light that comes out of the body of Lord, that is for that light, the Lord himself is the origin. He is the support for that. Just like the sunlight is there because there is sun. If there is no sun, the sunlight cannot exist. And we cannot see the sun directly, but seeing the sunlight is comparatively easier than seeing the sun directly with the bare eyes. We cannot see the sun directly like that, but we can only see the dazzling light that is present. So like that, there are, even though there are Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan realization, without the mercy of the Lord, we will not be able to understand the personal features of the Lord. Only the devotee can give us the vision of the Lord. We have to surrender to the pure devotees of the Lord and then follow in their footsteps and follow whatever instructions they give. And when the Lord is also pleased, and then when the Lord is pleased with us, he will give us the actual realization. The Brahman realization, when the person is having it, it is incomplete realization, and there is Bhagavan also. When you are thinking that if a person realizes Brahman realization, if he gets, it means there is also Paramatma, there is also Bhagavan. The Paramatma and Bhagavan is not absent at that state. We can understand this by taking the example of a gulab jamun. The gulab jamun, you can perceive it in three ways. One is, say for example, gulab jamun is made in the kitchen and you are sitting in the hall. Now you get the fragrance of the gulab jamun and you will not be able to see the gulab jamun. But just by the fragrance, you will understand that something delicious is being cooked. And then another person, he will go and see the gulab jamun, but he will not be able to taste it. And another third person, he can get the fragrance, he can see the gulab jamun, and also he can get the taste of it. So this is like Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan realization. When you are getting the fragrance of the gulab jamun, it means that there is gulab jamun. Unless there is gulab jamun, you cannot get the fragrance of it. Similarly, when we get the understanding of Brahman, the effulgence of the Lord, it means that there is Lord behind that. If you remove that effulgence, means if the Lord removes the effulgence by his own mercy, then we can see him. And we can get that realization. The yogis, they will get the vision of the Lord within their heart. Dhyana avastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino yasyantam na vidusura suragana devaya tasmenu. Srimad Bhagavatam says that the yogis, they will meditate upon the Lord for so many lifetimes. And then finally they will be able to see the beautiful form of the Lord within their heart. This is Paramatma realization. Then what is Bhagavan realization? In Bhagavan realization, the person will be able to understand the different pastimes of the Lord. This is even rare even for the yogis, those who perform so much austerity life after life. What is there in the pastime? The pastimes is nothing but the dealings of the Lord with his devotees, with his pure devotees. That is Bhagavan realization. But in Bhagavan realization, the person will be able to see the 5 kinds of rasa. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, all these kinds of rasa, the mellow, it is available in the Bhagavan realization. And this Bhagavan realization is completely dependent on the mercy of the Lord and his devotees. Only a devotee can give us devotion. Otherwise, we cannot get the devotion to the Lord. So that's why here this mantra, it is praying please remove your dazzling effulgence. I want to see the beautiful form of yours. I want to see you. Please remove the this Brahma Jyoti. Anybody would like to read can raise their hand. Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The living entity should never be considered the all-powerful supreme truth. If he were the supreme, he would not need to pray to the Lord to remove his dazzling cover so that the living entity could see his real face. Mantra 15, Purport. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the Prabhupada is telling here, those people who say that I am also God, like the Mayavadi, I will also become God. There is no difference between me and God. For them, this is the answer. If you are saying that you are also God or you will become God, then there is no question of praying. The prayer is not possible. Whom will you pray if you yourself is God? The living entity is always Jiva Tattva and the Supreme Lord is Vishnu Tattva. They will never become equal. They are separate. The Lord is the maintainer and we are the maintained. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Ekoyo Bhagunam Vidadati Kaman. Always that one Supreme Personality of Godhead, he will be the maintainer and we are the maintained by him. It is always true. It will not change. Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. The demons who are killed by Krishna, they are immediately transferred to this Brahman effulgence. So just imagine the place which is given to the enemies of Krishna is that very covetable thing. Ishopanishad lecture, Los Angeles, May 18, 1970. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So this Brahman realization, it is not the highest, it is the lowest, we can say. It is among the God realization, Brahman realization is the lowest one, where the demons also get that. So one should not aspire just for Brahman realization, one should aspire for the Bhagavan realization. And gaining the higher realization does not mean that you need to have more effort. The effort is same or it will be less also. Because for getting the Bhagavan realization, it is made easy by the mercy of the Lord, mercy of the devotees of the Lord. It is given easily. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. By the causeless mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhagavan realization is made so simple that anybody can take to it. But if you want to get Paramatma realization, you need to work so much hard and it is very difficult to achieve. This is like the greatest something what is there, it will be made available for everyone so that everyone will get benefited by that. All the acharyas, they have glorified the holy name, especially in this Kali Yuga, because you can take advantage of this and you can go back to Godhead. Going back to Godhead is nothing but Bhagavan realization, because once you go back to Godhead, you will be able to associate with the Lord personally, and personal association is nothing but Bhagavan realization. It is neither Brahman realization nor the Paramatma realization. It is the Bhagavan realization. So if you want to get the solution for all the problems of this material existence, birth, death, old age, disease, the solution is Bhagavan realization, not the Brahman realization or the Paramatma realization. That is the 15th shloka. Yeah, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a shloka. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena Sakam Vijahru Krita Punya Punjaha. The personality of Godhead who is perceived as the impersonal, blissful Brahman by the Jnanis, who is worshipped as the Supreme Lord by devotees in the mood of servitorship, and who is considered an ordinary human being by mundane people, played with the cowherd boys who had attained their position after accumulating many pious activities. This is like when the Lord, he was playing as a cowherd boy in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, with all the Vrajavasis, the devotees. Many people saw him in so many different ways. So what are the different ways? For the Jnanis, he is like Brahman, the blissful Brahman. He is Brahman. If realization means always blissful, and the supreme devotees. For the devotees, they are for them he is the supreme Lord, and for those people, ordinary human being, he is also one among them. He is also one among the mundane people. There are even now also those people who analyze Mahabharata. Then they conclude Krishna is the best politician. He was very good at all dealings, so he could do everything so perfectly. So for such people, Mahabharata is a wonderful story, and Krishna is a great hero, but he is not God. But they will not accept him as God. But he is a very great personality, one who has expert in all the activities. So that is for mundane people. He is also one among them. Maybe a little bit more powerful than me. That's all. Then for the cowherd boys, after accumulating so many pious activities, they have come to Krishna to play with him. This is possible only by the mercy of the Lord. Now, when we are going back to Godhead also, we will not be directly taken to the spiritual world. We will be taken to that place where Krishna's pastime is going on. The Krishna's all pastimes, they are called as Nitya Leela. They are always eternally present. They are existing. They are happening everywhere. Either in this universe or another universe, these pastimes are continuously going on. Now, how it is possible? Prabhupada gives the example of time. Now, presently here it is 11:30 in India. And after some time, we will reach 12 o'clock. Then this 11:30 will be somewhere else. The earth is rotating. The another part of the world, this 11:30 will be there. And now at the present moment, 12 o'clock is there in some other part of the world. Later, that 12 o'clock will come here. Then it will move on like that. So this time is moving. That means the earth is rotating. But that time, whatever is there, it is existing in one or the other place. Everywhere, the time is moving. But its existence is there always. It is not lost. Similarly, the pastime of the Lord, either Lord Krishna's pastime or Lord Rama or all other pastimes of the Lord, they are happening in different universes. These universes, wherever the pastime of the Lord happening, the devotees will be transferred to that place first. They will be given an opportunity to associate with the Lord. Then later, after that, they will be taken back to Godhead. So that is how the process explained by Srila Prabhupada. Now these cowherd boys, they after attaining so much of pious credit, they have come to play with Krishna. And they don't know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are just playing with him as a cowherd boy. But Krishna is the lovable object for them. Next, coming to mantra number 16. Pushan ekarshye yamasurya prajapatya vyuharashmin samoha tejo yatte rupam kalyanatamam tatte pashyami yosa asau pushaso sohamasmi. O my Lord, O primeval philosopher, maintainer of the universe, O regulating principle, destination of the pure devotees, well-wisher of the progenitors of mankind, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so that I can see your form of bliss. You are the eternal supreme personality of Godhead, like unto the sun, as am I. Here the comparison is given. Krishna is compared to the sun here. Here the sun is one. There is one sun for the universe. Similarly, Lord Krishna is also one person. There is no second person. Krishna is the unique. And his rays, the sun ray, it is giving the effulgence to the entire creation. It is creating the effulgence. Similarly, Krishna, he has his consciousness, or he pervades everywhere, omnipresent, omniscient, and he is present everywhere. And sun rays consist of part of the sun, and the sun and its rays conjointly constitute the complete sun. So when we say sun, it is inclusive of everything. The sun rays included, the sun globe, as well as the sun god. All the three are included. Similarly, when we say Krishna, he includes everything. Krishna includes all his creation, everything, whatever the living entities, everything is energy of the Lord. But at the same time, Krishna has his own personal form and the dham, or the place where he resides, that is Goloka, Vrindavana. And there are different levels of realization that we have studied. And only a devotee can realize the Lord. That is about the prayer. And the last two slokas, 17 and 18, it is talking about the art of dying, how we have to leave this material world. What happens at the time of death? So there are two prayers that is done by the devotee. One is the devotee is praying to the Lord, "Oh Lord, please remember all that I have done to you." Kratosmara, Kritam Smara. And also he is praying to the Lord, "Please remove all the obstacles that are there in realizing you, or that whatever obstacles are there in the path of my self-realization or God realization, please remove it." These are the two prayers that the devotee is doing for the Lord. So moving to the mantra number 17. Vayur anilam amritam athedam bhasmantam shariram. Om kratosmara kritam smara kratosmara kritam smara. Let this temporary body be burned to ashes, and let the air of life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you. This is the prayer of the devotee to the Lord. Now, is this prayer needed for the Lord? Can't the Lord remember what we have done? We may forget, but Lord doesn't forget. Lord will not forget you, whatever we have forgotten. We don't know what we have done in previous life, what are the things, what kind of life we had. We don't know anything about it. But Lord knows everything. Then what is the why this prayer is there? Do we need to pray like this? There is no need to pray to the Lord like this at the time of death, because the Lord himself will take care of us. But what is the meaning of this prayer? This prayer we are doing at this moment. That means when we are healthy, when we are fit, we are doing this prayer. So if you want to do this prayer at the time of death, then you should do something at the present moment, so that you will be able to pray like this at the time of death. Say, for example, you have done all the bad activities, you have simply wasted your life by sense gratification and simply wasted your whole entire life. And at the time of death, if you say to the Lord, "O Lord, Kritosmara, Kritam Smara, Kritosmara, Kritam Smara," then what you are telling to the Lord? "Oh Lord, please remember all the nonsense that I have done." That prayer will not have any meaning. So if you really want to make this prayer, this 17th prayer of Ishopanishad true, then you should do something right now. If you do something right now, then if you are praying this to the Lord at the time of that, it will have some meaning. So this prayer is for now. That means you have to perform right now, whatever devotional service you do, so that we can be confident, at least, oh, I have done something, whatever possible, whatever within my capacity I have done, then I can say at least, "Oh Lord, please remember, I have done devotional service, I have chanted 16 rounds, I have woke up in the Brahmi Muhurta, I have chanted, I have attended Mangalarti, I have read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Oh Lord, please remember all these things. So please deliver me from this material world." Then we will be able to speak like that to the Lord. A devotee, this is the difference between the death for a devotee and a karmi. The example, analogy is given like a cat catching a rat and a kitten. So if we are aware of this prayer, now then we will be at the end, at the time of death, it will be like the cat catching the kitten. We will be very peacefully giving up this body, being very sure that Dehinosmi yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara prapti dhirastatra na muhyati. Person will be dhira. He will not be bewildered. He will not be in tension. There is no stress. But if we are not doing, then there is a lot of stress, there is a lot of problem, and we don't know what is our destination, where I am going. These things will happen. So that's why here it is this prayer. It is actually, this prayer is warning us. You must remember what you have done at the time of death. So do something which you can remember. Don't do something which you like to forget. Because whatever activity we are doing now, that activity should be qualified for the remembrance at the time of death. That is called as art of dying. How you can die, or how you can give up the body at the time of death. Now the translation is, "Let this temporary body be burned to ashes, and let the air of the life be merged with the totality of air. Now, O my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices, and because you are the ultimate beneficiary, please remember all that I have done for you." This is the prayer that the Jiva is doing to the Lord. And giving up the body at the in this state, that will be like you are giving up a foreign dress, or your external dress. You are changing the dress is a happy moment. If you are get good, just like now Deepavali is coming, we all buy new dress. So wearing a new dress is a happy moment. It is not a sad moment. So for a devotee who has done devotional service, giving up the body is a happy moment. It's not sad. Unlike the karmis, who doesn't know anything about transmigration of the body. To get a better benefit, better body, better living, we give up this present body and go further. That is the example that we can understand. And those jivas who have developed different kinds of consciousness, they will get accordingly different types of body. Like if the person who eats anything and everything without any discrimination, he will become a hog in his next life. Or a person who always wants to sleep, then he will get a body of a bear in the next life, like that, the polar bear. in the next life, or like that. There are many examples that we can take. If a person wants to eat meat, then he will get the body of a tiger or lion, so that you don't have to cook the meat, you can eat directly. So that facility will be given by the material nature. Similarly, a person who performs devotional service and does devotional activities for the Lord, then he will get a spiritual body, which is suitable for performing devotional service for the Lord. Like that, the person is undergoing cycle of evolution of the soul, not the body. The soul gets evolved from one body to another, and the devotees will surrender to the Lord. Consciousness at the time of death is very important. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejantante kalevaram tam tam evaiti tam kaunteya tada tadbhava bhavita. Where it is said, whatever remembrance that comes to you in your mind at the time of death, that same kind of body you will get in the next life. And also here, Krishna is telling, even if you have done any kind of sinful activity in your past life, but if you are taking to Krishna consciousness, api chesu duracharo bhajate ma mananyabhak sadureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. If you have done any kind of abominable activities, but if you are taken to devotional service right now, you will be saved. So don't worry about the past activities, but you take to Krishna consciousness. But once you take to Krishna consciousness, then don't change your path. You have to be serious in your practice. And Navavidha Bhakti, that is explained here. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyam Atmanivedanam. And Prabhupada gives the examples for these nine process of bhakti. This will be asked in the exam. Who is the example for what? The first one is Shravanam, hearing the pastimes of the Lord. The example is Parikshit Maharaj, the son of Abhimanyu. Entire Srimad Bhagavatam is describing this, the hearing of Parikshit. And it is described by Shukadeva Goswami. So Shravanam and Kirtanam, Shukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. These are the two examples for this Shravanam and Kirtanam. Then third one is Smaranam, remembering Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj always remembered Krishna. He never forget Krishna. So Prahlad is the example for remembering, Smaranam. Then Padasevanam, Lakshmi Devi, she is always serving the lotus feet of the Lord, Padasevanam. And then Archanam, that is worshipping the deity form of the Lord in the temple. That is Prithu Maharaj is the example. You must remember this. This example comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prithu Maharaj's story is there. And Vandanam, offering prayers to the Lord Krishna, that is Akrura. When he came from Mathura to Vrindavana to take Krishna to Mathura back for that festival. It was festival as well as competition. Akrura has offered so many kinds of prayer, which is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Akrura is known for offering prayers to the Lord, Vandanam. Then Dasyam, that is serving the Lord, that is Hanuman. Yes, everyone knows Lord Hanuman is the Dasa Bhakta of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. And Sakhyam is Arjuna. Arjuna is the one who has served the Lord as a friend. And then Atma Nivedanam, one who has surrendered everything to the Lord, that is Bali Maharaj. Where Lord Vamanadeva as Trivikrama, he kept his feet on the head of Bali and he took everything from him and he sent him to the Sutala. And the Lord himself is a protector there for the Bali. And he also got the Indra Padavi for the next Manvantara. So like that, there are 9 processes, and for every process, there is an example, different devotees. And there is one more example who has done all the 9 process of bhakti, that is Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj has performed the Shravanam, Kirtanam, everything. All the 9 processes of bhakti he has performed. This is described in Srimad Bhagavatam that we can read. Then finally, the 18th shloka. Okay, let us continue to the slides. Om Kratosmara, Kratam Smara, Kratam Smara, Kratam Smara. Krato means supreme beneficiary. Krita means all that I have done for you. Oh my Lord, please remember all my sacrifices because you are the ultimate beneficiary. Please remember all that I have done for you. Puja Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sadhya Pranam.
Yes.
Even if at the time of death a devotee does not remember his service to the Lord does not forget him. This prayer is given to remind the Lord of the devotee's sacrifices. But even if there is no such reminder, the Lord does not forget the service rendered by his pure devotee. Mantra 17 purport. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Now coming to the 18th shloka, 18th mantra. Agnenaya supataraye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidwan yayodhi asmaj juhuranameno bhuyishtamte nama uktim vidhema. O my Lord, as powerful as fire, please lead me on the right path of liberation. O omniscient, one which with many pastimes, you know all my actions and thoughts. Please destroy all my sins that hinder my progress towards you. I offer all obeisances falling on the ground at your feet. This is the 18th shloka. The devotee is asking for the removal of all the obstacles that is present in the devotional life of a person, the devotee, so that he can easily go back to Godhead. So this prayer is very much needed, because when we pray to the Lord, Samashritaye padapallavam mahatpadam punya yasho murare bhavambudir vatsa padam param padam 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 yadvipadam natesham. Lord Brahma prays to Krishna when in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, where he says, the Samashrataye Padapallavaplavam Mahatpadam Punya Yasho Murare. One who has taken the shelter of Mahatpada, of the Lord's lotus feet, for him, the crossing over this Bhavasagara, this ocean of material existence, it is as easy as crossing over the Vatsapada. Vatsa means the calf. The feet of the calf is very small, and crossing it, you don't need any instrument. You can just cross over easily. So, Vatsa padam param padam yat vipadam natesha. One who has taken the shelter of the Lord, for him, this entire material existence, it will become like the Vatsapada, the Goshpada Jala. It is very, very small, and he can easily cross over it and go back to Godhead. So by praying like this to the Lord, the devotee is preparing himself to go back to Godhead. Okay, this is the objective of this lesson 6 objectives. Understanding, summarized mantra 4 to 8 and 15 to 18 together. Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sri Ishoparishad, the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna.
Yeah.
The concluding quote, the entire process is hinted at in this mantra, mantra 18 and Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2, 17 to 20. Explain it further.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Siddharth Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Concluding quote, hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord is itself an act of piety. By hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord, one becomes cleansed of all undesirable things, and then one's devotion becomes fixed upon the Lord. At this stage, the devotee acquires the Brahmanical qualifications and the effects of the lower modes of nature, passion and ignorance, completely vanish. Hare Krishna.
Continue, Prabhu.
Concluding quote, the devotee becomes fully enlightened by virtue of his devotional service, and thus he comes to know the path of the Lord and the way to attain him. As all doubts diminish, he becomes a pure devotee. Mantra 18, purport. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So what is given in that shloka that is explained in the slide? This is first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which will explain about the importance of Shravanam 1 to 17 up to 20. Rinvatam sukatha Krishna punya shravana kirtanaha hridyantasto hyabhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam. So this is Shravanam is the beginning of devotional service among the 9 process of Bhakti, Navavidha Bhakti. And when we hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is the Paramatma present as a super soul, he is present in everyone's heart and benefactor of the truthful devotee. He will cleanse all the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. This is the benefit of hearing the pastime of the Lord. Now, hearing pastime of the Lord, how much importance we have to give to this? Sometimes what happens, we will hear the pastime of the Lord and now we know the pastime. What is the need of hearing again? Generally, we think like that. Damodar Lila, I have heard so many times. What is the need of hearing again? Because I know this story, I have heard it so many times. There is nothing new to learn. So this attitude is not correct, because it is not your knowledge thing. You're hearing not to just getting the knowledge. The hearing of the pastime again and again, it is going to cleanse the heart. So you must hear it more and more time. In whatever number of time you possible, you should keep hearing these pastimes. And we should not try to gain something new. Like if there is something new, you tell me, otherwise it's okay, I know this pastime is enough. That attitude should not be there when we read the Shastra. Anything new is just like if you go for newspaper. If the same news is there, or this all I know, I don't want to read. That's fine, leave it. But it is not, that attitude is not correct for spiritual subject matter. Spiritually, it has the effect. It has the cleansing effect. We must keep hearing. Even if you take 100 times, if you heard and you know each and every word of that pastime, still you have to hear once again. As many times as possible, we should keep hearing these pastimes And hearing more and more about the pastime of the Lord, it will make us remember him at different stages of our life, so that it will come to our mind. We can remember the Lord at the time of death. So it will benefit us. So that is the shloka, and it will continue for next 4 shlokas. So what happens when you are hearing Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is presented with the transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So our confidence will increase if we are hearing about the Lord more and more. The pastime, when we are hearing. When we hear the pastime for the first time, we may not be able to believe whatever is being explained, because our faith is very weak. But if we are hearing it more and more time, then gradually the heart becomes pure, and with a pure heart, a person can understand, or he can realize the pastime of the Lord, and he can accept it to be fact. It's a irrevocable fact. The Lord's pastimes gets established within our heart, so that we can remember him very easily. So all the inauspicious things that are present within our heart, it will get removed. Then what happens? It will change our mode. Tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta etairana vidham stitam sattve prasidati. As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's modes of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy. So the effect of lower modes, the Rajoguna, Tamoguna, this will be removed. And this is a great achievement if you are able to do this. A person who is in Sattva-guna, he is in the best platform for going to the spiritual platform. So coming to the Sattva-guna itself will take so many lifetimes in the other processes. But just by hearing the pastime of the Lord, a person can come to the level of Sattva-guna. Then in the Sattva-guna, what happens? The activities of the jiva. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. As established in the mode of unalloyed goodness means Shuddha Sattva. It is beyond goodness. The man whose mind has been enlivened by contact with devotional service to the Lord gains positive scientific knowledge of the personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from all material association, so that the person will be eligible for going back to Godhead. So that is the benefit of hearing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is the only way for achieving the Bhagavan realization, which is the completeness of our God realization about the Krishna consciousness. So with this, we have come to the conclusion of today's class, today's lesson. If anybody has any question, they can raise their hand and ask the questions. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anu Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Prabhuji, this ends with Krita, when, O enjoyer of all sacrifices and supreme beneficiary. So that means Vishnu. The mantra 17 talks about Krito.
Yeah.
So, and it starts with Om, which I believe refers to the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Or does it only refer to Vishnu?
Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. Krishna says it is Lord Krishna. It refers to Lord Krishna, Omkara.
Okay. Then the question part. Mantra 12 says, those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal absolute. Now, when he's allowing us to worship demigods and saying that it is okay that you worship demigods, you said, not Krishna, you said if it is a process for progress to higher realization, then demigod worship is okay rather than being an atheist. But who are impersonal is not good. My first question is there a difference between impersonalism and Mayavadi concept?
Yes.
And second question is, when we progress from demigod worship, we realize as Vishnu, as in the end he says that in the book says that Yagnapati is Vishnu. So when we come to that realization, or when we divert and go to Shiva, is Shiva impersonal realization?
Okay, your first question is Mayavada impersonalism.
Yeah.
You can take the example of 4 Kumaras. The Sanaka, the 4 Kumara, Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanatana. These are the 4 Kumaras. They were impersonalists, but they were not Mayavadis. Because they never had a philosophy that we will become God. But they were not having the knowledge of personal form of the Lord. So that is the impersonalist. But there are people who say that I am also God. You are also God. I will become God. You can also become God. We all are God. This is Mayavada. So that is the difference between impersonalism and Mayavada.
So are Shaivites Mayavadis?
Huh?
People who consider Shiva as supreme, are they Mayavadis?
No. You are. If you think you yourself is God, then it's Mayavada.
I've never seen a person who will say I am God.
There are people, you might not have come across. There are people who will tell that they will address each other as God himself. They will address themselves as God. I am also God. You are also God. There are people, but you may not be having the knowledge of it.
Okay, if they are saying we all are God, so how do they consider the Shudra Jati? They are also God?
Yeah. They will call everyone as God. They are now at the present moment they are not God, but when they realize, they will also become God.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen anybody who says.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nandita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Prabhuji, you were talking about impersonal Brahman or effulgence and merging with it and all these demons going there. So that is Sayujya Mukti, is it?
Yes.
Both of them,
Sayujya,
the
yes.
First two. Paramatma realization and the Brahman effulgence. That is Sayujya Mukti.
Paramatma realization is, Jnanis go to Paramatma realization, but Karmis will go to Brahman realization. The Sayujya Mukti is Brahman, that is Karmis, but Jnanis will go higher than that. They will go to the Paramatma realization, second level. But Sayujya is referring to where there is no variety. But if you go for Paramatma realization, you have the form of the Lord, but you don't have the access to his pastimes.
So that is Sarupya Mukti, Prabhu.
These Mukti's types will come in the Bhagavan realization, Mataji. But in Paramatma realization, it's incomplete realization. It is, if it is incomplete, you cannot, as per my knowledge, I cannot discriminate it. It is only.
I was just trying to correlate it, Prabhu, like which one comes where. And Sayujya means they have to have a fall down again and come back to human life or some other life. It's like that, Prabhu.
Yeah. There is no variety. So there are chances of falling down.
Okay. Prabhu, just one silly doubt. You said the 4 Kumaras. they became, they started believing in the personal form of the Lord. What I have read is, I think in Nectar of Devotion, it was after smelling the incense that was offered to the Lord. Like, where was this, or when was this, Prabhu? I mean,
this is the pastime where Jaya Vijaya got cursed, Mataji. In Bhagavatam, this description comes. They go to the Vaikuntha and they wanted to enter inside, but they were not allowed. Then they cursed Jaya Vijaya. Then they entered the Vaikuntha. Then Lord personally came and gave them darshan. And then they realized the personal form of the Lord. But these all are pastimes, Mataji. We cannot say Kumaras are lower or something like that, because they all are acharyas. For our benefit, they are doing this pastime. Like that.
They are in the list of Mahajans, no, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Siddharth Prabhu.
Sorry, I think I was on mute. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Two things. One, of course, one is a question which is on a little bit of logic, which doesn't have, knowingly that it doesn't have any relationship with Bhakti, but there is a question. But before that, Anu Mataji's question, in fact, not Mayavadis, but I have read literatures, Mayavada literatures, many such literatures, where they are saying, absolutely in a very, very directly, they are saying that there is no difference between soul and super soul. So that means the person who gets realized, he actually becomes super soul, he becomes God. So that kind of literature I've read. So I think that is a Mayavada literature.
Yes.
So this I have come across without naming, who has written it.
Yeah.
So a second question is a little again silly, is people having propensity of not only propensity, but who are engaged in non-veg eating, etc. Where you said that they will take birth in some of the yonis who like tiger and things like that. The logic is that the population of these animals are so short and the eaters are so more. I don't know how it will be accommodated. I was just thinking, a very silly question.
Yeah.
Tigers and lions and all these species are getting extinct, and these non-veg eaters are getting more. So where they will be accommodated actually?
Yes, bro. But see, our observation is very small. We are observing within the span of 100 or less than maybe 50 years or 60 years of observation. But this happens in a large duration of time. First, the person has to go to the Yamaloka, and he has to get the judgment. And it is not directly you will get those kind of body. First, one has to go to the hell. In hell, there is a punishment for eating meat. There is the meat, it is called mamsa. Mamsa means mamsaha khadayati iti mamsaha. Means whatever animal you have used for eating, you have killed for eating, that animal will kill you. That means you will also get that same pain, whatever that animal has got. These experiences will be given in the hell. And then he will be given training for taking that life. A human being, if you directly put him in the body of a pig, then he has to fast. He can't eat stool. He will not be familiar with that body. So that familiarity will be created. Then he will be put in that body. So it will take a lot of time. Then he will get that body. And one more thing is, this is not the only universe or not the only earth that we know. There are so many universes. There are so many Brahma. There are so many. This creation is very big. It's very vast. So we don't know where they take birth. And also there is a preservation. That is, all the jiva may not be given the bodies immediately. The material nature, it has the facility to keep them aside. If we are closing this Kali Yuga, and if we are starting a new Satya Yuga now, then at that time, it is not that all Kali Yuga people will get entry to the Satya Yuga at the same moment. The entire creation will be destroyed. There will be a pralaya, and these jiva who are who were present at the end of Kali Yuga, they will be given a chance in another Kali Yuga only, or according to the same situation. And for the next Satya Yuga, some other set of Jiva will come. It is not this same Jiva. So this, what Jiva has to come, when they have to come, this is a big calculation that is done by the material nature. Yantra Rudhani Maya. This yantra is given by Maya, the material nature, and she is going to decide. We don't know anything about it. Once we give up this body, then we are not in control of anything. It's all in the hands of material nature. So we cannot say population is less. It is beyond our conceivable things.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Maybe I was just thinking in not only tigers. I was just, again, while you were saying, I was just thinking that even all the species who are taking non-veg, birds are also there. Then all these worms are there, and maybe even the fishes are there. Aquatic animals are there. So maybe that is also maybe considered, I think.
No, there is no karma for them. If a tiger kills the deer, tiger will not be punished. Because it has taken the body of a tiger, that itself is the punishment. There is no second punishment. The deer is getting killed by the tiger as its own karma, and there is no separate karma on top of that. It is like if the traffic signal broken by a human being, he will be punished. But if an animal breaks the traffic signal, it will not be punished because its body is different. You are in the human body, so you have to follow. If an animal is there, animal body, it will not be given that punishment. So you can't say a tiger has killed the deer, now it has to again go to hell. No, it will just go on evolving. That is, the soul gets evolvement. Jalaja Navalakshani Sthavara Lakshavimshati Kramayo Rudra Sankheka Pakshinam Dashalakshanam Trimsa Lakshani Pashavaha Chatur Lakshani Manushaha. Once you take birth as the aquatic animal, then come to the tree, then insect, then birds, then animals, then human being. This is the process. So gradually you progress. There is no in between going to hell. At the end, you get the human form of life, and human form is the junction where you can go either you can go to the heaven or you can go to hell, or whatever choice you take. And there is a lot of evidence for this. In Shastra also, as well as the modern science also gives a lot of evidence for rebirth. And we have to put faith in the Shastra and understand. It is very easy. Otherwise, if you want to, for your own and strengthening your own faith, you can go through the literatures that are present about the life after death.
Okay.
Yeah, previous life. There is a lot of Ian Stevenson. He has made a documentary, and there are many people have worked on it. And our Shastra also says about our previous life, and Srimad Bhagavatam also describes. In the modern science, it could only see if you had a human form of life earlier. Only so much you can remember. But Srimad Bhagavatam, even animal life also it can remember. Like Bharat Maharaj could remember his previous life as a deer. But it is very more difficult for a person to remember himself as a deer. Like if you are a human being, at least you can relate what I was doing in my previous life. Say, for example, he was an elephant in his previous life. Now, how will be the experience? It will be totally alien for him. Why you will not be able to understand why am I behaving like this? You will be living in the forest.
Yes.
You just imagine like that. So that remembrance itself is deleted. Means it's not completely removed, but it is made unavailable for this present life. That is nature's gift only. Because in this life itself, we have so much of stress, so much of pain, we are trying to forget. And if you get the previous life also, all the pains and troubles, then the person will go mad. So the material nature will close it, and you start a new life, and all facilities will be given for you to learn. You better be a good person in this life and go back to Godhead. Don't think about the past, whatever happened, forget it. This will tell many people also. There are many people who come to Krishna consciousness, they say, I have done so much of sinful activity, all those. They will say, just forget it, leave it. Now you got this, you perform and continue like that. So that is
last sloka of this.
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, in Kali Yuga, the person will be in human being form. Satya Yuga, the person can be in animal form. No? Like by that, no population, animal population will be increased. No, Guruji. Like human population will be less in Satya Yuga. Animal population, plant population will be more. So, like that, I think balance in nature, it may happen.
Yeah, that is possible because to take a birth as an animal in Satya Yuga is also great. If you are a dog at the time of Lord Ram, it is so glorious than taking birth as a human being in this Kali Yuga, because you will have the vision of Lord Ram. Even if you take a birth as a bird when Lord Ram was there during Treta Yuga, that is so glorious. So there is no comparison like that. Means it is possible. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have two questions. One is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. They say that it is a Divya Bija Mantram. Hare Krishna and Rama is the Divya Bija Mantram. And Hare is the Anandamaya Shakti of the Lord. So is it that when we say Hare Rama, is it the Radharani, Balram, that divine this thing, or it's the expanse of Krishna, which I always have this doubt, Prabhuji. The actual the meaning of the mantra, so that it's a food for the soul. So how do we conceive the meaning, the Divya Mantra, Divya Bija Mantram of this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? This question is one. The second question is, Prabhuji, when we are in when at the time of death, when we are in conscious stage, if it is the most blessed one, when we think about the Lord, when we are not in the conscious state, we are bedridden, or we are in the state of unconsciousness, or is it when we keep chanting, so the God will bless us by in a subconscious state that we remember Him, Lord? How is it? Because we don't know. At the time of death, if we want to be in the state of remembering the Lord always.
The Lord has already promised. I don't remember the shloka. If my devotee doesn't remember me at the time of death, I will remember him. And I'll give you the remembrance and I'll take him back to Godhead. Only thing is, you should perform devotional service when you are healthy. That is the condition.
Fine, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the meaning.
Hare is the pleasure potency, that is Radharani.
Radharani, okay.
Hladini potency of the Lord. Yes. Rama and Krishna, that is the name of the Lord. Together, like we are praying to Radharani, please engage me in the service of Krishna. And there is no difference between Balram and Krishna. Balaram is the second expansion of Krishna himself.
Okay.
Just like if you say the son is the expansion of father.
Okay.
But still mother for father, she is a wife. For the son, she is a mother. Like that, the Balaram is an expansion of Lord Krishna, but at the same time, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Balaram. He is the first expansion. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Whenever the Lord expands, Radharani also expands. Okay. All the expansions, they all are the expansions of the Lord himself. Lakshmi Devi is the expansion of Radharani herself. Like that. That is the transcendental platform. Even if you are getting some pleasure, some happiness when you are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is because of Radharani. She is blessing us. She is engaging us in the service of the Lord. if you are able to advance in your Krishna consciousness, or if you are getting more and more opportunity for serving the Lord, you are getting desire for chanting more. This is all blessings of Radharani. So the Radharani is there in that as a pleasure potency of the Lord, and she is going to facilitate everything.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Anu Mataji.
Prabhuji, it is not a question. Next Sunday, is there a class?
Why not?